Other way of defining big data is this, through this something called as the 5 V's of big data. 5 V's of big data, we started with kind of 3 V's, which were velocity, variety. We talked about volume a little bit. Let's talk about variety. Means the different kinds of data. When IT came into existence, first the data all in paper and books, and then it moved to computers, and then moved to computers in form of some sheet, Excel file, or a database, which is rows and columns, very structured data. Now what has happened, more and more of unstructured data has come into being, which means all these kind of things, your images, on a Facebook, if you go, you can post an image, you can post a video, you can post a text, you can post anything, any kind of data. It's not restricting you to do something one thing. So that creates a lot of variety of data. This kind of variety was not there. What has happened now, you can take this variety and actually do something with it. For example, I was saying the security cameras, right? They were always recording. Now we have reached to the power that they are not only record, but let's say it finds somebody who is criminal or some kind of not that kind of person, it can do facial recognition and take the image and alert the security person right on that moment in real time. Think about that. These things were not possible. This compute power was not possible in a real-time, fast fashion. That is what big data has enabled. So variety was there. Now we can really make use of that variety. That was the missing piece. Second one is velocity, the speed at which the data is coming to us. So let's say I was coming to this boot camp and I was driving. Before I start, Google pops up on my message like, okay, you need to start and so time to be able to reach, right? Many people have that experience. So many things are happening to make that happen. It's not easy. We take it for granted. Imagine what is happening. First of all, you got an email from us in a Gmail. So what Google did, it passed your email, right? It knew that you are going to such and so event. This is the location of the event. This is the time. And where you are currently. It took the distance. It took the traffic conditions into mind, all of that, and told you that you have to read now. That's the power of instant gratification in the world which we live in. We want results now and right there and in timely fashion. So that's what velocity has done for that. We're not waiting for that message to pop up every night, like Google is going to run all that in the night and send you. No, it's no use. We want that information before you are leaving. If it came at tonight, it's useless. It's gone. The time is already missed that. So that's where velocity comes in. I already talked a lot about volume, actually. The whole last slide was about volume. The amount of data was increasing. What I want you to look at is more the kind of data which is increasing. If you see relational data, which is more of a structured data, the databases, that's done. That's not growing. If you see, it's almost like a very linear graph. It's not increasing. What is increasing is the complex unstructured data, the orange section over there. And that's where big data is. The only technology which can address that kind of a thing, is designed for such kind of things, is big data. And that's another reason why big data is such in demand, because of all this unstructured data created. So these were the first 3 V's, and then people added more because they realized there is something called as veracity. It's not about huge volume of data coming to you at a fast speed. It has to be clean data. It has to be correct data, right? The Google alert which is coming, if it is coming, as I said, in the night, or if it's coming, taking you to a wrong direction, it's not good. So it has to be right and clean data, and that's where veracity comes into picture. Cleaning the data and making it the correct data. So that's the 4th V, and the 5th V is the value. Everything is for value, right? You came here for a session, you're hoping to get some knowledge and information. Everybody's doing for a value. So that's why it has to be part of this big data implementation. And value becomes more important. We see a lot of projects and companies just starting big data because everybody's doing, instead of thinking what this particular big data project or initiative is going to help us. So we try to preach that a lot. Think about your use case. In real estate, you say there are 3 things important: location, location, location. In big data world, I say there are 3 things which are important: use case, and use case. If you don't have a use case for big data, let's not use the big data. You can do it if you have a small set of files which are sitting, just use Excel and simple things or database and handle that. If you really have one of these problems, which could be volume, you may not have huge volume, but if your data is unstructured, that could be a reason for using big data. So this is another way of defining. Many people in discussions and interviews talk about these 3 V's or the 5 V's. So this is the second way of defining.